All right, I'm back for part two of Monday, November 7th, 2016 episodes of Archer Monologues. D. McClung here, talking. Talking, sometimes ranting. Occasionally a rave comes through. I'm allowed because, free speech. And if you don't like that, guess what? Yeah, kiss my ass, eat shit, and die. Fuck you, in other words. All right, where was I? Talking about how we, as human beings, as decent human beings, as freedom-loving, self-respecting human beings, decent human beings, as a decent human being. I mean, we're not Vikings. We're not gonna be barbarians and go around, rape, pillaging, and plundering. Though I kind of think if I say that, you'll link me up with Donald Trump, because I better not say that. Anyway, rape, pillage, and plunder. These self-righteous, indignant hypocrites that are like, oh, that's just wrong, that's disgusting, that's just terrible, they should put them in jail or something, or kill them or whatever, because they're like barbarians. What are they doing? Oh, they're raping people. I'm like, oh yeah? Alright, I'm not going to get into that because that has to do with a whole different set of balls. Alright, so let me finish reading. If you caught the last show, then you're coming right through and But if you're a family member or friend, neighbor, relative, whatever, of, let's say, an American police state bully, thug, then, hey, a cop that's in, I should look this up so I can tell you accurately, so I can talk like an intelligent, educated person, or informed person, well-informed. I know it's in, I think, the Indians. Native Americans, indigenous folks. They have property, it's theirs by the fact that it is. And, you got these corporate elitists trying to put a freaking pipeline through their property and, their burial sites, which they think are sacred. I'm sorry, man. Yeah, maybe not. But that's what they think, and fine. And across rivers and stuff that is going to, what happens if the pipe breaks and, pollutes the river all the way down to the freaking Gulf of Mexico and, people die as a result of it. And so what if it happens? Well, what if it doesn't happen? There are a lot of ifs involved in life, and you can't always answer the ifs. You can't always say, yeah, it's not going to happen. Because it could. We have to go by the historical record here. We have to look at things and say, what typically can happen and does happen occasionally. I just did a Donald Trump thing with my mouth. Occasionally. It doesn't sound like Donald. I didn't say it did. I wasn't impersonating him. I was just, he's got this little way of talking that's his mouth is really small like this, and I'm Donald Trump. And it's kind of weird. And then he goes, like that, like he thinks he's like Mick Jagger or some damn thing, or Kiss or something. Anyway, Donald Trump, lunatic. Seriously, lunatic. And it's not because of anything he said about grabbing pussy, which is, I don't have a problem with that. And anybody who has a problem with someone's talking that way and saying, I want to grab her pussy, I think probably, until he said that, I never thought about saying that. Never occurred to me to grab some woman by the pussy. It just didn't, it's not appealing to me. I can think of a lot more colorful words to say and a lot more interesting or shall we say, exciting, sexually interesting. I can think of more fun things to do with a pussy besides grab it. Not to say that I wouldn't want to grab a pussy, or that I never have grabbed a pussy, because let me think, kind of did once or twice. It's a conservative guess there. But, just saying it doesn't make me a bad guy. It just means I'm a guy, and guys like to think about grabbing pussy. or grabbing themselves a quickie, on their lunch hour or whatever. But anyway, I'm not. I don't want to get into Donald Trump right now. Okay, it's depressing enough. Just knowing that Donald Trump and Hillary are both running for president, and one of them is going to be president. That's just fucking stupid. Anyway, all right. Until I, so I don't twiddle away all of my 45-minute segment here, which is down to 40 minutes now. I'm going to read the proclamation, so to speak, of a suggestion on how you can actually deal with people. And I know, you're sitting there, and a lot of you, maybe not all of you, some of you are sitting there saying, "I'm only one person. What can I do? I can't do anything. I'm just one person." There is something you can do, and I'm going to tell you what it is. And I'll tell you in great detail, and I'm going to tell you over and over and over again until you get it. Okay? So, reading on. I'm going to start at the beginning of the thing, and I just want to give you a background. Let's say, cops in the Native Americans are like, they're being terrorized by these thugs in uniform and pepper sprayed in the face and shit, which is a crime against humanity. And it is cruel, and it's vicious and barbaric, and anyone who sprays pepper spray in my face should expect some revenge from me. Seriously. Don't fucking do that. Or kill me, or beat me, or any other damn thing. Or harass me, or try to abduct me, put me in jail for, whatever. Because, you're going to jail because you talked to somebody, and we don't like it. And, guess what? Kiss my ass. If you're a cop, you work under the premise of government, a constitutional authority which says, you can't put people in jail for talking to people. You just can't. It's not allowed. If you do, you're a criminal because you violated your oath of office, which says, I will not disobey the Constitution of the United States and whatever state you live in, because all the states have constitutions as well. So basically, I'm saying, I'm going to read this, because I said it yesterday, and I'm going to keep saying it until you people get it. Don't tell me you can't do anything. I know you can. They have communities or little cultural groups like Mormons and Amish and Seventh-day Adventists, whatever. Pennsylvania Dutch. Who practice ostracizing people. Ostracizingism. Or shunning. I'm a big fan of shunning and ostracizing people who deserve to be ostracized and shunned. Even if it's just my opinion that they should be shunned. It's something I can do. It's not like I'm saying to someone like, okay, here's an asshole that, really annoys me, and he's calling me names, and he's slandering me and defaming my character and so on. And he's just saying stupid shit over and over and over. And he's arguing with me on Facebook or somewhere like that. And I'm like, okay, here's the deal, pal. Okay? Shut the fuck up. Alright? So I'm just going to, argue with him. You really do want to. I mean, that's just common. I mean, it's part of American culture to argue with people. Ad infinitum, over and over and over and over. And continuously until one of you drops dead or some damn thing. So what I'm saying is, you can do that. You can. Honestly, you can. It's sort of like saying the local grocery store is selling, poisoned milk. And it says right on the label of the milk bottle, this milk is poison. It will kill you. And they put it on the shelf, like lots of bottles of it, and you walk in and say, milk, and you buy it. And there's a big sign over the freezer or the cooler where the milk is. There's like 100 gallons of milk in there, and above it is a big sign in big 2-inch letters: This milk is poison. It will kill you. And you can't help but see it because it's like there in your face. And you pick up the milk and you take it home and you buy it and you drink it and you die. You're like, you're a fucking moron. I know it's an illustration. It's just it's a hypothetical scenario. I just kind of made that up just to make a point, to present you with a point, a message, an idea, a concept. If you're too stupid to read the fucking sign that says don't buy this milk, don't drink it, it will kill you, then you're not smart. All right. So you can do something. You can say for yourself, this milk is poison, it will kill me, I'm not buying it. You can do the same thing with ideas, which have disclaimers. This idea is fucking stupid, beyond belief. It is absolutely beyond stupid. It's utterly fucking really stupid. And you don't have to buy it. You can say, I'm not buying that stupid shit. It's a lie. I'm not buying it. So you see my little illustration of the grocery store and the milk is an illustration of that concept, which is what I do. That's my job. Or occupation, actually. I don't have a job. Job is like 9 to 5, you get paid, or something like that. You know, I don't do that. Because I am what I am, and I don't mean Popeye because I don't eat spinach. Not cooked spinach anyway, and certainly not out of a can, like, yuck! Ugh. What kind of message is that sending to kids? I won't get into that here. I'll get into it later. That reminds me, I'm gonna do some children's books, and I think I'll put the cooked spinach thing in there, and eating spinach out of a can, and how absolutely disgusting and pathetic that is. And don't do it, kids. Kids, don't do this. Don't do what Popeye does. It's yucky, and you will vomit. Don't do it. So anyway, spinach. Yuck. So let me read this for you. All right, so we got done that. Okay, here's the thing. If you are a relative of a thing or friend or neighbor or family member, whatever, you know what I'm saying. If you are aware of a person who lives in your house and he, let's say your husband, you're a woman, your wife, you're a mother, you got kids, and then there's the husband, and his job is to go put on a uniform and a badge and a gun and go out and commit crimes against people. Like go to the Dakotas and pepper spray innocent people and beat them and drag them off to jail and shit. For just daring to stand on their own fucking land. Excuse me? God. It's the fact that it's just utterly fucking stupid, and I'm swearing a lot, and I'm saying fucking a lot, because fucking is the right word to use, because I'm just so fucking mad at people for being stupid and acting like fucking barbarians, and nobody's doing anything about it. Let's talk about it. And you get your Facebook or your other places, and oh, yada, 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 yada. And it is arguing and bickering and arguing and bickering and talking and talking and talking and talking. Oh, that's terrible, that's terrible, that's terrible. And then nobody ever mentions the fact that these people, these subhuman people, called cops, pigs, swine, police officers, not law enforcement, because that's a Taliban word, and that's what they called the Gestapo back in the 30s and 40s in Germany. Yeah, they did. Law enforcement. That's not the point of this particular segment, but don't use the phrase law enforcement. Because that's not the way it works in a free society, particularly America. And you're being brainwashed, manipulated, duped. Your mind is being bent by the mind benders. English is English. You should know it. If you've lived in America your whole life, it's your native tongue, you should be able to speak English correctly. If you're over the age of 12, at least. Otherwise, you're illiterate. And you're talking babble. And you think you read my things that I say, like on Quora, for example, and I know what you said. And then you get it totally backwards. Totally wrong. Totally the opposite of what I said. And then I get letters saying, you didn't say that very clear because the morons can't understand English. It's my fault? Excuse me? It's my fault you can't understand English? Listen, if you're a Chinese guy and you're reading, and listening to this show, and you don't understand what I'm saying because I'm speaking English and you don't understand English because you're Chinese and you speak Chinese, whatever dialect you speak, and write and read in, Chinese, and then, okay, it's English, and if you don't understand, why are you listening if you don't understand a word I'm saying? What, you just what is it? My voice is like music to your ears, I guess. Could be. I wouldn't blame you. I think so, too, because I like to hear myself talk, apparently, because people have accused me of, you're just talking to hear yourself talk. You like the sound of your own voice, you egotistical, narcissistic bastard. And then, okay, yeah, maybe I am. And so, what are you going to do about it? So here's what you can do about these cops that are like doing bad things, like committing crimes against humanity in the Dakotas against these Indian peoples, indigenous folk. Here's what you can do. And so there's no excuse. You can't just say, I can't do anything. I'm only one person. I'm going to tell you what you can do as one person. You can do it. Unless you're a fucking coward and have no backbone. Or you're an idiot. Or you're one of them, which means you're a collaborator with the enemy. Seriously. And there's no argument there. I'm not going to argue with you. I'm on the radio. I can talk and say whatever I want. You can't say shit because it's not your radio show. If I wanted to hear you say something, I would invite you to be a guest, and you could, we can have a talk, and I'll interview you, and I'll be the boss, and you won't be. You'll be the guest, and I may or may not be polite to you. No reason for me to do that if I don't want to. It's my goddamn radio show. Understand? You better. It's English. My fucking radio station. Channel, show, thing. Mine. I paid for it. It's mine. I bought it. I own it. Or you might say I have a lease with the provider of the means for me to broadcast this radio show. One of them. I could actually broadcast my radio show directly to YouTube. I wouldn't even have to have Spreaker.com as a host, or as a conduit to which I can get my show to the public. I can be syndicated and broadcast my show anywhere, PBS even, for that matter, which I'm working on, by the way. One day you might turn on your PBS station that you like to listen to, really love to listen to, and you might hear me on that radio, on PBS. It is possible. And you could hear me, on following up behind, right after the Howard Stern show on the radio, Sirius, whatever the name of it is. That subscription thing that I can't get because I'm not paying that kind of money just to listen to somebody talk. Like, Howard Stern, bless his heart. But anyway. Alright, so I'm going to read this. So you can do something, and here's what you can do. Okay? I'm suggesting something that you can do, that you're capable of doing. And you don't need a lot of people to do it. You don't need anything. You don't even need a gun to do it. And it's not against the law, by the way. You can shun these people. You can shun them. You can ostracize the fucking pig bastard motherfucker who is a cop in Dakota. Or anywhere else in America, for that matter. That guy, Gestapo. And that's not stretching it. They're pretty much Gestapo, and you should hate them. I would think. I do. Generally, not individually. I don't personally know any individuals that are police officers, live next to me or whatever. They're out there in the community when I'm out driving around and going to the store, and there's a policeman car person, and there he is, in a uniform and a badge and a gun, not stand there all puffed up like he's somebody. Better than me. Yeah, bullshit. My dad had an incident with a police officer in Clarksburg one time. because I won't get into the story at this point. I'll tell you later about that story. It's a very interesting story, and my father basically told the cop, "Fuck off." Really? I don't know if he actually said what he said he said. Would have been pretty cool if he did, because I would have done it. You know, he basically stood up for himself and his rights and his situation, and he pretty much demanded the cop, the police officer, the bastard, respect me, asshole, because you work for me. You're a fucking cop. You're not God, and you're not the boss of me. So don't talk to me like that. And whatever he said, I wasn't there. I don't know. I just know what he told me when he got home. So here's something you can do. I've been saying this for like over an hour, so you should get it by now. There is something you can do, and I'm going to tell you what it is. All right? In fact, I got this here on the thing, so I can just say it. I can read it, and I'll try to sound like I'm not reading it so that you'll think that I'm making this up as I go along. But some shows are scripted, partly, a little bit. This one is. So the next little bit segment is, in fact... Oh, it went silent all of a sudden. All right, so continuing. Shun them, ostracize them, refuse to have anything to do with them so long as they act like animals, fascist pig motherfuckers, police state bastards, etc. Make their lives miserable as they are making other people's lives miserable. Think the indigenous people in the Dakotas that are being tear gassed and pepper sprayed and beaten and drug off to jail because they're just doing what they have every right to do. Okay. So. Alright. Force them to suffer for their indecency towards their fellow human beings. And I'm serious here. Okay? You should know by now. I mean, after all, it's been like 22 minutes into the segment, and I did 45 minutes already this morning about this. So, I am serious, and I mean it. And just do it is the phrase here. Just do it. No excuses. Just fucking do it. And I'm telling you what to do. No, I'm not. I'm saying it in a very direct, forceful, positive fashion. I'm saying do it. It's like a dare. I dare you to do it. And in fact, I challenge you. Do it. Surprise me. Actually have a pair of balls. And do it. If you don't do it, there's another story. And, I'll have a few words to say about that too later on. All right. So, stop saying you can't do anything, that you're only one person. You can do this. In fact, if you don't do it, if you continue to give aid and comfort to and aid and abet these monsters, these subhuman scumbags, then I will hold you in contempt. That's you, the listener. If you are, if you can't stand up for freedom, if you can't do anything to, act like a decent human being and shun these bastards, then, I have contempt for you. And I will shun you. I will not be your friend. I will not talk to you. I will not listen to your blathering, sorry-ass complaints about how awful the world is, how sad you are that people are being deprived of their rights, how upset you are that the government isn't doing what you want it to, or is doing something really, really bad, like pepper spraying innocent people in the freaking Dakotas. I won't bother with you at all. At all. In fact, I will mock you behind your back. I will say nasty things about you to your face even. I will go out of my way to make your life as miserable as your husband, wife, son, daughter, mother, father, or whatever, or neighbor is making the people of the world. The Native Americans, for example, the innocent people of other countries. I swear to you I will not engage you in any way whatsoever, except to show my complete and utter contempt and disgust and disdain for you. If you cannot show some backbone, if you cannot do the most simple of things for your fellow human beings that are being attacked, tortured, and beaten, and abducted, and sometimes murdered by the fascist police state motherfuckers that you call husband, father, brother, mother, sister, wife, whatever, cousin, next door neighbor, what have you. If you cannot find the courage to do nothing to support and condone these, what? That sentence doesn't really sound right. So let me see if I can edit that for you. If you don't have the courage to shun them, to ostracize them, to deny them aid and comfort, if you do not have the courage to stand up to them and tell them, if you can't find the backbone to fight for freedom and humanity, the least you can do is do nothing to support and condone these less than human swine, these fascist police state bastards, these haters of freedom, these tyrants and bullies, these thugs and monsters that are our family, our friends, our neighbors. Yes, we know who they are. You know who they are. We live with them. Well, I don't live with all of them because I don't. But they're around. They are our neighbors, our co-workers. Yeah, if you're a cop, your co-workers are cops. And so you know who they are. I'll be calling my name every day. Hey, Joe! That's Officer Joe. Getting ready to go out into the world and beat some more people in the head. Taser them. Pepper spray them in the face. And generally be a prick. Alright? So that's what you can do. I've made a suggestion. I am not just all talk. I'm not just all blathering, raving fool. I actually have some suggestions to do something about these things. If you don't like it, do something. Like in this case, don't do anything. Now, I want to make a note here, a little side note. Just if you are a person that believes that the government should not, the government should force everyone to live the way you want, according to your stupid ideas about how things should be. Like if you're a Christian, for example. Oops, I just insulted Christians again. Too fucking bad. Because if you're a Christian, you're not bright, okay? Sorry, you're not. Smart people don't believe in mythological nonsense, and they're not, unless you're insane, in which case you're like delusional, and you believe in delusions. Anyway, the point is, you can do this. So if your husband is a cop, he's a part of that problem, so why would you let him come in the house? Why would you let him come in the house and be around your children? He's just maced and tasered and sprayed pepper spray into some little girl who could have been your daughter, by the way. And you're going to say, hey, Dad's home. Nope. Dad's not home. Dad's not coming in because Dad is an asshole. And Dad is not welcome here. I don't have a problem with forgiveness. If they come home and they say, I'm sorry to you, the wife, like, I'm sorry, my wife, my dear wife, my loving, kind, wonderful, beautiful wife, mother of my children, I'm sorry. I went out and I actually pepper sprayed some fellow human beings in the face and the eyes with pepper spray, and I was being a complete dick, and I'm sorry. And your mom happens to be, at their house too while you're there when you come home from work. with blood on your hands, you bastard. And you're saying and your mother's standing there at the door with your wife, and you're saying, "Mom, I'm sorry. I let you down. I'm a despicable human scumbag, and I'm so sorry that I did that to those innocent people and hurt them and caused them pain and was being a general dick. I'm sorry, Mom. I'm sorry, my wife, my loving wife. Please forgive me. I'll never fucking do it again. I swear to God, I'll never do it again. If you just let me come in the house and, sit down and eat my dinner and maybe mow the yard after a while and watch some TV and drink a beer, maybe, or a Coke or whatever it is you want to drink, and then please forgive me, Mom, and my beautiful wife and mother of my children. Please forgive me. I won't do it again. I promise." Now, you're lying because you're a cop, and tomorrow morning you're going to get up and go back to work again because you got to pay the bills. It's a job. Well, tough shit. Because if you're a cop and you're not going to, if you don't have the balls to stand up to these barbarian cops that you work with, then you're not much of a human being. And I sure as hell don't think you have, any moral fiber about you that, would qualify you to be a police officer. You're just a thug. And you're not a cop and not a police officer. You're not a person that's decent. So, and your wife says, "Okay, I forgive you if you don't do it again." And which means you'll probably have to get another job because you'll probably get fired, which is a good thing because you shouldn't be a cop in the first place because in America today, cops are like Gestapo pig motherfuckers. All of them. Now, I've said this many times in public, and I'm thinking, some cops are going to get really pissed at me and offended and come into my house, kick my door in, and kill me because that's the kind of mentality these monsters have against their employers, which is I'm one of them. And I'm basically saying, don't let your husband back in the house if he's a fucking cop and he's going around murdering people. Or like the Gestapo, like you're a Jew, you're going to get on a train and you're going to go to the prison concentration camp, and we're going to kill you there and throw your bones into a ditch and bury you and cover you up, forget about you, because you're fucking Jewish. And see, if you're so that's pretty much what it is. They're being little fucking Nazis by going to these Indian places and pepper spraying these innocent people and other things that they're doing bad, beating them and shit, which is nothing a human being should be doing to another human being. So I'm sorry, but if you're a cop and you're doing that, then you shouldn't be a cop, for one thing, because you're not fit to be a cop, and secondly, you're an insane maniac, just a prick is what you are. And sorry, you're not going to eat here anymore. You're not going to live here anymore. You're not going to sleep in my bed. You're not going to fuck me anymore. I guarantee you. No pussy for you, asshole. No food, no clothes. No, I'm not doing your laundry. I'm not fixing your supper, and I'm not going to make your bed, and I'm not going to fuck you. Definitely not getting a blowjob. Me, no, sorry. You're a fucking cop, and you're hurting people, and that's unacceptable. So, no, get the fuck out. Don't come back. I changed the locks on the doors so you're not coming in. And if you pull out a gun at your front door of your house, I'm the wife, I'm the mother, and I got kids in here. And your mother's here, by the way, visiting, because I asked her to come over and help me, give me moral support to, face you, because I know what a crazy fucking monster you are, and you might hurt me. And you might just kill me or something, because, cops are really disgusting barbarians. I mean, come on. Let's face it. All of those cops on that line in the Dakotas standing against those indigenous folks, those, Native Americans, all of them are somebody's mother or father or son or brother or cousin, something like that. They all have homes. They all go home to the kids after when their shift is. My shift is done. I'm going to go home to the wife and kids. And then, all of these people are human beings to some level. Subhuman, yes. But they all live somewhere. They all have homes. They all have families and so on. And their families should be saying to them, you're not my son. long as you're going to act like a fucking barbarian and a freaking heathen. Well, maybe heathen's not a good word. Don't want to give the Christians any upper hands on this shit, because they're not very nice either sometimes. So anyway, this is what I'm saying. You can do that to some degree, in some way or another. You can. See, there actually used to be, women had this thing back, I don't know, 100 years ago or something. They said, you know what? Until women have the right to vote, until they have equality, you're not getting any pussy. I don't know how many women could actually tolerate not doing that. And I don't know how many men, particularly cops, because they're bullies and thugs and will do whatever they want and hurt people. And if you come, I'm a cop and I live here, it's my home and there's my kids and my house, and I make the house payments, and I put the roof over your head and I feed you in your tummy, and you're my wife, and I'm horny and I'm home from work, and I just beat and pepper sprayed a bunch of innocent children. One of them was about the same age as my daughter that's living here in my house. Oh, what a shame I am. What a piece of rotten shit I am. But I want to come into my house and fuck you and pet the kids and, slap the dog around or whatever. What I'm saying is simple. We should be shunning them, if nothing else. We should be arresting them and putting them in prison for being fucking barbarians and murderers and thugs. But first things first, baby steps, right? First thing you do, tell the man, you're a cop, you're a pig, you're a swine, you're a son of a bitch, you're a motherfucker, and you're evil, and you're freaking barbarian, and you're not going to come in, you're not welcome around me and the kids anymore. Sorry, you're not. That's the way. That's one thing you can do. A suggestion, a valid, non-violent way to deal with murdering barbaric police state motherfuckers. You can do that. You can. Trust me, you can. I can. I know. I've done it, and I'll do it again. I'll keep doing it until, they stop acting like barbarians, or until I figure out exactly another way to add to the pressure to make them stop and beg for forgiveness for their crimes against humanity. The same applies for any military personnel that happens to be in Iraq and Afghanistan and Syria, or working, dropping bombs or murdering people with a drone over Pakistan or whatever, murdering people without a trial, invading a foreign country was a crime against humanity, and so on. So anyway, I made a suggestion. As a footnote, there's other things you can do in other areas of life. For example, dress codes. I like to throw this one in all the time as much as I can, because it's just absolutely, appalling that Americans are willing to submit to dress codes. I mean, you just don't have dress codes in a free society. You just don't. It's not a freedom thing. It's the opposite of freedom. It's like somebody telling you what to do or what not to do. Like, you can't wear that shirt here. Excuse me. I fucking can, and I fucking am, and I fucking will. And you can fuck off, asshole. Don't be telling me what to wear. So there's a way to get rid of dress codes. And they should be gone, because they're not American. They're anti-American. They're anti-freedom, anti-nature, anti-humanity. And they're enforced by thugs and bullies. Little fucking Nazis. And you don't have to put up with that. Like, go to the school, en masse. I mean, like, you and your buddies, your friends, your fellow students, parents, all children, all school age, all adolescents, whatever, high school, for example. Every one of the parents, every one of the students should be down at that school looking at the principal in the face and saying, here's the deal. Yeah, no more dress codes, or you're going to be taken out in the yard, tarred and feathered, put on a rail, and run into the river. And just, no. Gone into the sea with you, asshole terrorist. When I went to high school, there were like 350 students. If those 350 students would somehow, even if 10% of them, 35 of them, had joined me, I didn't really ask them to. I thought about it, but I should have actually done it, because now that I think about it, I'm an idiot. Why didn't I do it? because nobody actually said, hey, you can do that. Go ahead. And I should have, but I didn't. I would today, and I'm encouraging you today, and I will stand with you today if that's what you want to do. If you actually decide that it's time to put an end to these fascist police state bullying tactics by the government, dress codes, if you want to end that, if you actually want to wear a t-shirt that you want to wear to school, and if you want to actually show a little cleavage or a shoulder or whatever, then, free country, you can do that. Which means this is not a free country at the moment. So, to make it a free country, you can say to the principal and the teachers and other staff members and the Board of Education people, dress codes are gone. History. No more. Done. Period. Or else. Meaning, you take matters into your rightful hands. You have the right not to be violated. You have the right not to be deprived of your rights. You have a right not to be oppressed. You have a right to stand up to these bullies, thugs, and pricks and motherfuckers, Nazi bastards, fascist pigs, and tell them, you're the principal, and we own you. I mean, this is not your school. We own it. It's a public school. Taxpayers' dollars pay for it. It's ours. And we're telling you, these are our children, and you're not going to be bullying them anymore. They're talking about Mrs. Trump was saying, if I'm going to be if I'm the first lady, I'm going to be saying, I'm going to be talking about and campaigning for, anti-bullying, anti-bullying. I'm going to be opposed to anti-bullying. I'm going to be opposed to bullying, not anti-bullying. You know what I mean? And that's her thing. That's what she said. That'll be my thing. Talking about working for getting rid of bullies and stuff. We must stop bullies. We must stop the bullying in schools and so on, and on Facebook and so on, which is another stupid, laughable thing. How can you bully someone on the internet? I mean, seriously. Well, I know how they can, I know they do, but just turn it off, for Christ's sake. Shun them, as it were. We know they're not nice people because they're bullies, and we know they're bullies, so don't put up with them. Tell them, stop bullying me or I'm going to kick your ass. I don't mean violence, I don't mean like physically. Just, there's ways. You can shun them. Stay away from them. And you can go on Facebook and mock the hell out of these bastards because they're like subhumans. Like they're not really human beings. Oh, that reminds you of another time, another thing. I think it's ironic that the less than human thug, bully, scum of the earth, non-human beings are, don't put up with bullying. No, we got to stop bullying. And, by the way, I'm a bully, so stop me from being a bully. But they don't ever go that far, do they? They never admit that they're the bullies. It's like the bullies are saying, we got to stop bullying. And then they're bullies. And then, okay, we need to stop them. The ones that are telling us to stop bullying. We should take their word for it and do it. Like, you're a bully. Stop bullying people. Crime against humanity, by the way. Yes, it is. All right. Come to the end of this segment. I said what I had to say about this, and there is something you can do, and we can start doing it right now. I'm doing it right now. See, I don't have any cops in my family that I know of, not my immediate family, and so I can't tell them, no, you can't come in. But I know somebody, and I'm shunning them. I'm ostracizing them, and I'm going to mock them and berate them and say nasty things about them to their face, behind their back, publicly, whatever, because they're scum. All right. Just do it. Act like a fucking human being for a change. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.